would be withheld on a high place called Al-Araf. Al-Araf, Al-Araf. Al-Araf means high place. High place. Where they would be able to look at Al-Jannah and they will be able to look at Al-Nar. Those people, their hasanat and their sayyat were exactly equal. The pluses and the minuses were exactly equal. And we discussed last time that if you do a good deed, if you do something good, how many hasanat you get? Minimum of 10, possibly 700, or many times more. So this is one good thing. You got at least 10. And you did something bad, equal in magnitude to that good. How many sins do you get? How many minuses? 1. So in order for you to be equal, how many bad things you would need to do? 10. Or even a lot more, because some of the good things you've done, Allah gave you 700, or many times more. And yet those people, they come out with having, rated as 50%. And although they have done only little good deeds, but only with Allah's mercy they rate like this. Those people, if they had just one hasana more, they would have been amongst the believers that would be happily waiting to enter Al-Jannah. They would be lacking one hasana. One hasana. Had one of them smiled at a Muslim brother or sister, he would not have been in that place. Just one hasana. Had one showed a single kindness to his wife, one time, he would not have been short of this hasana. Has a wife showed kindness one time to her husband, she would not have been short of this one hasana. Had someone said hello to a non-Muslim, hoping that the non-Muslim would make him like the Muslims, so that he would be interested in Islam. With the da'wah, with da'wah being your intention, you would not have lacked this one hasana. So the message that we would like to give here, please don't underestimate any good deed. Don't underestimate any good deed, because it could be that one good deed that will move you from the so-called people of Al-A'raf who would be withheld. Allah knows for how long, and you would have been entering Al-Jannah. Okay, now in today's lecture, inshallah, we will talk properly about Al-Jannah. Now we are waiting in front of Al-Jannah. And first of all, where is Al-Jannah? Where is Al-Jannah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, in Surah Al-Najm, Surah Al-Najm, the chapter of Al-Najm, verses 13 and 14, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ رَآهُ نَزْلَةً أُخْرَى عند سدرة المنتهى عندها جنة المأوى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here talks about the journey of Al-Mi'raj, when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ascended to the heavens. And he saw the first heaven, As-Sama' al-Ula, the second heaven, and he went up above the seventh heaven, As-Sama' al-Sabi'ah. And then there, he and Jibreel went to a place, and then there he saw Jibreel on his in his true appearance as an angel, because Prophet Muhammad ﷺ saw Jibreel, I believe, twice in his true angel shape. One time when he came to him in Ghar Hira, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that he found him filling the sky. And the second time, وَلَقَدْ رَآهُ نَزْلَةً أُخْرَى, and Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has seen him, Jibreel, another time, where there during the Al-Mi'raj, near a place, near a tree called Sidrat al-Muntaha, near a tree called Al-Muntaha. Al-Muntaha in Arabic means the farthest where things go. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says, and he, Muhammad, saw him, meaning Jibreel, another time near Al-Muntaha tree. There is the Jannah. عندها جنة المأوى. There is the home of the Al-Jannah. Now Ibn Abbas says, الجنة فوق السماء السابعة ويجعلها الله حيث يشاء يوم القيامة. Ibn Abbas says that Al-Jannah is above the 7th heaven. And Allah makes it wherever He wants in the Day of Judgment. Maybe Allah wants to expand it further. Now, the ceiling of Al-Jannah, the entire of Al-Jannah, the ceiling of Al-Jannah is Arsh Ar-Rahman, the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. According to my strategy last time, I will not go in a hurry. Whatever we finish, we'll finish. But I would like, just for because, want you to get clearly what we are saying. The entire Al-Jannah is immediately below the throne of Allah. Arsh Ar-Rahman, the throne. So the ceiling of Al-Jannah is the throne of Allah. And this is why Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, إِذَا سَأَلْتُمُ اللَّهَ فَاسْأَلُوهُ الْفِرْدَوْسِ. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ tells us, if you ask Allah for Al-Jannah, don't just say, Allah admit me Al-Jannah. You are a Muslim. You are an ambitious person. You are ambitious. Ask Him for the highest place in Jannah. Ask Him for Al-Firdaus. For Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, إِنَّهُ وَسَطُ الْجَنَّةِ وَأَعْلَى الْجَنَّةِ. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says Al-Firdaus is in the middle of Al-Jannah and is in the highest place of Al-Jannah. Can someone imagine how could it be in the middle and yet the highest place? I can give you an example. When you go to the masjid, the mosque, you look at the ceiling of the mosque, in the middle you see like a dome, right?
Yes.
The dome is in the middle and it is the highest place, right? It's exactly like that. That would be Al-Firdaus. That dome would be like Al-Firdaus. And, Al-Firdaus is where the prophets and the righteous people and all of those go. Ask him Al-Firdaus Al-A'la, the highest rank in Al-Firdaus. So now, we learned two things today about ambitions. We learned two things about ambitions that the Muslim should have. The first ambition, let your ambition be to enter Al-Jannah without any hisab. And we've seen how we have so much hope. There is no limit. There is no limited number. With 3 handfuls by Allah, there is no limit. What limits you only your own determination, your own niyyah. That's it. Al-Jannah has fragrance, a very nice smell, a perfume-like smell, that you never experienced in this life. And this smell, which is the smell of all of the flowers that are inside, of all the musk and perfume which is inside, the perfume that the heavenly women would be wearing, it would fill the space between the earth and the heaven. Those fragrances would be coming out of Al-Jannah. And they would reach millions of kilometers away. Millions of kilometers. You could smell the nice fragrances of Al-Jannah from millions of kilometers away. Imagine when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ tells us about someone who would not even smell the fragrance of Al-Jannah. What does that mean? That someone would not even smell it. Means that this person is going to be in trouble, right? An example of such a person who would not even be smelling the fragrance of Al-Jannah, even though the fragrance of Al-Jannah could be realized from so many years travel. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in one of his hadiths, he says, "Man qatala rajulan min ahli al-dhimma, lam yajid ريح الجنة وإن ريحها ليوجد من مسيرة 70 عاما." الحديث في صحيح الجامع الصغير ورقم الحديث 6324. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, who kills a non-Muslim, whom there is, from amongst those people who are called Ahlul Dhimma. Al-Dhimma, in Arabic, Ahlul Dhimma are the people who means that those are the people that we have treaty with them, whom we have agreement with them. If someone, we have agreement between us and his country, between us and his people, a peace treaty with them, like most of the normal relations that tie us to them through the treaties like we sign through the United Nations or individual agreements. He was addressing those particular people, or the non-Muslims who are living with us in the same country. If any Muslim kills any of those unjustly, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that that Muslim will not even smell the fragrance of Al-Jannah. And there are other hadiths also that mention that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was saying that if any Muslim practices injustice or kills or whatever any of those people, that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself will be supporting that non-Muslim in the Day of Judgment. It's enough for us that Islam is our peace treaty with all of the non-Muslims who did not harm Muslims or did not kill Muslims or did not kill Muslims from their homeland or anything like this. We don't need to sign United Nations treaties or to make a man-made constitution in order for that thing is to stop Muslims from harming other Muslims. We don't need any of that. Islam itself is the primary constitution for us. That is a message of peace that makes every non-Muslim who lives amongst us or lives wherever in this globe, if he does not attack Muslims, if he does not harm Muslims, he will see nothing but peace and kindness from Muslims. So, although Al-Jannah, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says that وَإِنَّ رِيحَهَا لَيُوجَدُ مِنْ مَسِيرَةِ 70 عَامًا, and the fragrance of Al-Jannah would be realized from a distance equivalent to 70 years travel. Look at, how much you can travel in 70 years. All right. Now, we are all waiting in front of Al-Jannah and we are eager to enter Al-Jannah. Each and every one of us is eager to enter that place that he had worked so hard for throughout his life. Whether he lived 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 80 years, he worked so hard in order to enter that place, and now you are standing there in front of it, you are looking at it, you are smelling the fragrance of Al-Jannah, you are just waiting for the doors to be opened. How many doors does Al-Jannah have? 8. There are 8 gates. And each one of those gates represents a certain good deed, like as-salah, like as-sawm. For example, there is one gate called Bab al-Rayyan, al-Rayyan. This is for the people who have been fasting. Who have been fasting for the pleasure of Allah. We know what, if you fast the true way Islam wants you, how it really makes you a better human being. a better Muslim for non-Muslims and for Muslims and for the animals and for the environment and for everything else. It